Everyone knows macOS wasn't built for gaming. But after testing Hackintosh on quite a few old computers, I'm really curious. If we turn this Windows laptop into a real MacBook, what kind of games can it play? Is the performance really as bad as everyone thinks? More importantly, after transforming it into a MacBook, will everything run smoothly? Will there be any issues with the audio or Wi-Fi? Or will this experience turn out to be a complete disaster? Let's find out.
Okay, let's go.
This is the Dell Latitude 7400 released in early 2019. Overall, it looks very slim and clean. If we ignore this Dell logo, we could almost pass it off as a MacBook, which is exactly what I'm about to turn it into right now. Maybe I was just too cheap to spend a fortune on a genuine MacBook, which is why I'm here today messing around trying to install macOS on this machine. What a struggle. But first we need to look at the exact specs of this machine and see which version of macOS it can actually handle. Right now, the machine is running Windows 10, of course. The actual specs include an Intel Core i5-8265U CPU with 4 cores and 8 threads, and a base clock of 1.8 GHz. The RAM is a single 8GB stick, and we have the integrated Intel UHD Graphics 620. Honestly, these specs aren't too weak, but will it run stably with macOS? And most importantly, is gaming performance on macOS really as bad as everyone says? Recently, I made a few videos installing macOS Big Sur on older systems. They worked and delivered pretty impressive performance. However, they still suffered from common Hackintosh bugs related to audio, Wi-Fi, or Bluetooth. In this video, I won't be diving deep into the installation process. You can check out my recent videos if you want to try it yourself. All the components are ready, time to boot up this Dell machine. Perfect, it boots straight into Windows 10. But wait, what about the audio? Look, this is Siri, right? Stick of DDR4 RAM, Intel Ultra HD Graphics 630, and our 500GB Samsung SSD solid. It looks system is recognizing all the hardware perfectly. Oh look, OpenCore actually found the Wi-Fi driver for this machine, and there are quite a few options for the audio codec here, but will they actually work after the installation? Alright, after running OpenCore, we now have the EFI and recovery folders here. Copy them onto the USB and everything is ready to go. Will we hit any major roadblocks during the install? Let's get right into it. This Dell has been sitting here the whole time and I bet it's getting impatient. The installation requires an internet connection. Since this machine lacks an Ethernet port, I had to use a USB adapter to get online. After nearly an hour of sitting and watching a bunch of code lines running like crazy on the screen, plus a little bit of luck, we have officially stepped into the macOS Ventura interface on this Dell laptop. Wow, the interface is truly beautiful. Every transition effect is smooth like butter, not a single bit of lag, and the response speed is extremely good. Let's quick check the system info. This is a MacBook Pro running on a Dell Latitude with a 1.8 GHz 4-core Intel Core i5 CPU, Intel UHD 620 graphics, 8GB DDR4 RAM, and running macOS Ventura version 13.7.8. Exactly correct. But a beautiful appearance is one thing. Whether the features can run or not is another story. Let's test Wi-Fi first. Oh, look at that. The Wi-Fi catches a full signal, so this time OpenCore has recognized the correct driver. And, yep, Bluetooth is up and running. But wait, what about the audio? Look, this is Siri, right?
Hey Siri, how's the weather today?
I can't tell your location because of your settings. Where would you like to hear the weather for?
Wow, it actually works. Not only does the external speaker audio work, but even the microphone is perfectly recognized. Incredible. That's not all. The function keys can also run here. Let's see. I can adjust the volume, change the screen brightness directly with the hard keys of this Dell laptop. And the best part? The trackpad, just a quick 3-finger swipe like this, and mission control pops up instantly. It's so smooth, not inferior to a real MacBook at all. Absolutely amazing. Honestly, I got lucky, or maybe this Dell's hardware is just a perfect match for OpenCore. A flawless first try, and this old laptop is now a fully functional MacBook Pro. But remember, Hackintosh is never perfect. On any other machine, we would have been in for a lot of trouble. Everything is fully functional, just like a real MacBook. So the next question is, how about gaming? Is the performance actually worse than Windows like everyone says? Let's test a few specific games to see the real results. First up is Minecraft. To keep it quick, I'll install the legacy launcher. At the same time, let's get Steam ready for a few other titles. Great, macOS Ventura still has excellent compatibility. Both platforms launch without a hitch. Alright, the games are downloaded, let's jump right in. For Minecraft, I'm testing the Fabric 1.2 1.5 version. Oh god. Loading into the map takes quite a while, probably because it's the first time running on this OS, so it needs time to initialize data. Thank goodness, we're in. The game actually runs pretty smoothly, not nearly as laggy as I feared. At 1080p settings with an 8-chunk render distance, we're getting around 30 to 40 FPS. That's not a bad number for an integrated graphics system running macOS. But here's the reality check. Playing this exact game on Windows 10 on this very same machine delivers around 60 to 70 FPS, which is nearly double. That is insane. Is gaming optimization on macOS really that terrible? Now that Minecraft is out of the way, let's see how Steam games hold up. Next up is Hollow Knight Silk Song. On macOS, the game stays locked at a stable 40 frames per second most of the time. It's not perfect, but honestly, it's still very playable. But once again, Windows takes the crown, pushing close to 60 FPS. And here's a pretty frustrating thing when gaming on macOS. I can only get the FPS counter to show up. The detailed CPU and GPU hardware stats are completely missing, and I can't overlay them like I do on Windows. Next up, let's step it up to a real heavyweight, Tomb Raider. On Windows at 1080p low settings, the machine scrapes by at around 25 to 30 FPS. It's not the smoothest ride, dropping down to 20 during heavy combat, but at least it's playable. What about macOS at the exact same settings? Well, talk about a buzzkill. I can't load my save progress here. Even though it's the same Steam account, this game doesn't support cross-platform cloud saves. Starting a new game just to sit through the intros would be a massive waste of time, so let's trigger the in-game benchmark instead. And look at that, now it's an average of 26 frames per second. That is pretty much identical to Windows. This round is officially a tie. Turns out gaming on macOS has a lot more issues than I thought. But whatever, let's keep pushing and test a fast-paced shooter, CS2. On Windows at 1080p low settings, this machine absolutely crushes CS2. Well, crushes it literally because we're getting under 20 FPS. A truly top-tier experience. But switching over to macOS, I couldn't even launch CS2. The moment I hit play, Steam forced me to play CSGO instead. Wow, our buddy Valve is being pretty picky here, huh? But alright, CSGO it is. Let's do this. Except, here comes another annoying thing. Once I finished adjusting the settings, I couldn't hit the apply button. The game window wasn't scaling right, and that almighty apply button was stuck under the dock. After messing around for a bit, I had to resize that annoying dock just to click it. What a hassle. And finally, we're in the game. We're getting some peak performance here. By that, I mean around 10 to 15 frames per second. Trying to play a shooter like this is just awful, man. But hey, the fact that it runs at all is already a win. After wrestling with a few games on macOS and dealing with some pretty frustrating issues, I completely get why everyone hates on Mac gaming so hard now. Everything happens for a reason. Time to de-stress a bit. Let's do some web browsing. Wow, scrolling through Reddit is actually super smooth. Watching YouTube videos is awesome too. Handles 4K playback perfectly without a single stutter. Scrubbing through the timeline is instant. Alright, if we put gaming aside, macOS runs basic. Everyday tasks on this machine impressively well. The experience feels just like a real MacBook. Well, except for that Dell logo. So, now after this experiment, I've seen firsthand that macOS is simply not built for gaming just like everyone says. Apple's direction was never about optimizing their devices for games. They focused more on the overall user experience. But looking back, what do we actually have here? An old Dell laptop running macOS Ventura perfectly, with everything working from Wi-Fi to 3-finger trackpad gestures. Honestly, I might consider keeping this machine around as my own limited edition Dell MacBook. Do you guys have any cool ideas for this setup? Let me know in the comments. Catch you later.